Hallelujah! Praise the Lord Jesus Christ! Finally!
My friends, we are gathering here today in this joyous, most joyous of occasions. This momentum of days. Alright? The birth of a day that even the birth of Jesus Christ himself could not even compete with.
I totally thought you were gonna say birth of a nation.
Kaiser, what did you do to Lone Crate?
No, listen, I didn't do anything, okay? Not this time, alright? It's about something that we should all be incredibly excited about. For the very
Shin Kamen Rider coming to theaters?
Close. For the very first
Fuck you.
time.
Fuck you. Fuck both of you.
Wait, we haven't even seen it yet!
Do you want us not to see it? Do you want us to watch something worse instead?
I want you to see it and discover love.
You haven't even seen Macross, though.
Exactly.
No, that's remembering love. That's different. You see Shin Kamen Rider, you discover love, and then you watch Macross, and then you remember love.
I see. But what is love, Lone Crate?
My reaction to that information.
What did you just say, Kaiser?
Shabadoobie touch the henshin. Shabadoobie touch the henshin. Maybe I might watch Wizard instead now.
I bet you think you're being real funny, don't you, CBF?
Denying you all your dreams, human?
I mean, to be fair, at least he's not watching Ghosts out of spite. That'd be a really dick move.
No, honestly, I feel they're like roughly equally bad.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't know what's worse for Lone Crit. But anyway, so what is the actual occasion that has got you two so jazzed up?
We're finally recording!
Ah, yes.
Well, I was going to say we're finally gonna talk about Gash Bell now that after long days of Lone Crit just beating me over the head about how low-key great this show is and how I gotten the shit end of it when I was at 5 years old when it appeared on Toonami. I finally sat down and watched the damn thing.
The amount of restraint it must have taken to not say busting out the whip.
I have no idea what you're referring to.
Yeah, cue like 5 minutes before this call started.
That didn't happen as far as the viewers are concerned.
It's non-canon, you know the rules. If it didn't happen on screen, it didn't happen.
Exactly.
So, is Kamen Rider Zedo and Kamen Rider J canon?
Absolutely not. And we're gonna keep it that way.
When you guys watched those, the latter one, Kamen Rider J, I went and played Dragon Guard 1. So tell me guys, who's the real winner here?
Pamulus, because he's the one who liked it.
Probably the guys who didn't play a game in which one of the protagonists eats babies. Or, is a pedophile. Oh, I'm sorry, fan of the playground.
Anyway...
Look, the main guy has spiky hair and a cool giant sword. What do you want?
Gash Bell, everybody!
Without further ado, this is the Newtypes podcast. I am your host, Lone Crit.
I'm CBF.
And I'm Kaiser Shounen.
And we want to kill ourselves.
Yeah, well, what's new?
Nothing's new. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
You know what, it will be new in a week's time when you guys watch Shin Kamen Rider and then we won't want to kill ourselves, I'll just want to kill you.
Yeah, which is weird for a Hideaki Anno property, because usually it results in the opposite.
I'm sorry, do you not remember Shin Ultraman Kaiser?
I say most Anno properties for a reason.
I don't get why some people really don't like that movie. That movie made me rediscover, just faith in humanity.
Really? I thought the one that people didn't really like as much was like Shin Godzilla.
Dude, people love Shin Godzilla. What rock have you been under?
Both of you are wrong because the answer is love and pop.
Oh, shut the... We do not talk about that. We do not talk about that.
See?
Do we talk about Shin Cutie Honey, though?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, Cutie Honey the Live. Sorry, that's what it's called.
Oh, I was about to say, yeah, isn't Shin Cutie Honey the OVA?
Shut up.
Okay.
Anyway, so back to another thing that allegedly makes people not want to kill themselves or anybody else.
Yes, I finally Reploid depressed Kaiser into watching Gash Bell. Konjiki, no Gash Bell.
Yes, because apparently...
Zatch Bell.
So tell me, Kaiser, how do you like chi 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 oppai boing 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 boing?
Why are you so fixated on a song about groping women's breasts in a debatably consensual setting?
Leaving aside the issue of consent for a second, you realize what podcast you're saying this on, right?
Well, that is true. Y'all watched Rendaoza Minosuni the last time, so, you know, that makes sense.
And more importantly, you're talking to one of the men who outthirsted the Velvet Room. I've been playing Persona.
That's me. Well, I did it in other contexts, but still. Anyway, let's not implicate ourselves.
So, let me ask you, Kaiser, why is Gash Bell better than My Hero Academia and Demon Slayer? And most shonen.
Well, I would say...
Okay, good that you added most shonen, because being better than Demon Slayer is like being better than Fairy Tail. That's not an accomplishment.
Yeah, that's not a huge prize. That's not a huge prize.
Well, let me rephrase the question. Why is Gash Bell more based intrinsically on a fundamental level than Gash Bell and My Hero Academia?
Why is Gash Bell more based than itself?
Yes, because it keeps outbasing itself in every episode.
Well, you know what? It did. It certainly in episode 5.
Oh, absolutely. I absolutely love, honestly, all the episodes in general, but especially episode 5.
Yeah, so, like, when you first watched it, by the way, you weren't as hot on it, but now you've watched, like, 25 episodes. Come on. In retrospective, you're hotter on it.
I like it a lot more because I think in hindsight, because at first, you know, building up towards it with how it builds on the relationship, or at least further establishes the main relationship between the two main characters, Gash Bell and Kiyomaru Takamine. You know, when Kiyomaru was willing to defend Gash from being, you know, potentially taken away from him, I felt that at first it was a great moment on its own. Like the animation, the music, even the power-up bullshit actually works. Gash Bell, which by the way, in Gash Bell, friendship power-ups are actually good.
Huh?
It's literally a thing. Like, power of friendship / feelings is literally a thing in Gash Bell, and it is measurable and observable.
And it actually does well.
So what you're saying is the power of friendship, this thing that people hate all the time in shonen, is a quantifiable canon thing and is good for once?
Yep.
Yes.
Blasphemy.
Well, yeah, you see, Gash Bell has this thing called heart energy, right? Every, like, demon called Mamodo and, like, human pairing that work together to use their spells that have to be read off by the human partners from grimoires to be used by the Mamodo partners. They need something called heart energy that every either human partner or just human and Mamodo combined have. But the catch is that more of it is produced, or it is regenerated faster, under the influence of particularly strong feelings or particularly strong motivation. Such as the motivation of the main two characters, who are basically brothers, to, like, stay together and be able to remain together as a family in the human world.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask about that. Why are humans and demons together? What is this human world? Why are the humans and demons brothers in arms?
Battle Royale 20 years before it became a thing in shonen.
20 years exactly. Actually, I think it was even in, like, I don't know, a couple years before the actual Battle Royale manga came out.
And several years before Battle Royale became popular in games like Fortnite.
Which, now featuring fucking Naruto and Goku.
And before Kamen Rider Geats. And before
And
Kamen
also-
Rider Ryuki. Ah, jinx! Knock on
No,
wood.
I said it first.
Fuck you. Oh yeah, well, the recording that I'm editing is going to tell the tale.
You see, this is the problem with white people, okay? They always want to revise history.
So true.
George Washington Carver wouldn't stand for this, neither will I.
Except in my Kamen Rider form, where I'm an insert color rider.
Wow, so he gets to be non-white because he wants to be.
No, I could be white. There's no design yet. I mean, wait, what?
Anyway, so the freaking Battle Royale,
I
right?
hate you people.
Every 1,000 years in the demon world, every demon is given a book that seals away their magical abilities and powers in order for them to get jettisoned into the human world and have them fight each other with human partners using said books to decide the next demon king. And the idea is that when these, demons and these Mamodo and human partners fight, the goal is not to destroy the demon, it's to basically burn their book that the humans use to basically shoot out their powers and
Like
stuff.
the Nazis?
Anyways,
I will not dignify that joke.
So it's sort of like Pokemon with extra steps and better, just better.
Fahrenheit 451 meets Pokemon. Gotcha.
And it's really good.
It is. Look, Kaiser, first things first, what was the last episode you watched? Is it one we discussed off podcast?
No, I watched episode 23 last, and that's the one where Umagon gets properly introduced as a demon. There's a pony, horse, dog, little guy who we've seen in the previous episodes be palling around with Gash and getting his ass curb stomped by whatever random thing is happening. And he's actually a demon! Woo!
Umagon gets BTFO'd so much, it's hilarious. Did they actually show that little flashback he has to the Mamodo world where his mother, who can talk, he can't talk, just says what his actual name is, and he tries to communicate that with everybody when they're naming him Umagon?
Not yet.
You wanna know what his real name is?
What is it?
Schneider.
Schneider?
Yeah, like Dark
Like,
Schneider.
okay.
Dark Schneider?
Ah, Jinx beat you to it, fuck you!
Alright, I will say Lone Crit actually won that one, so you win this round.
That's right.
Anyways. But yeah, a lot of what makes Gash Bell really good, aside from just the relationship between the main characters and the Mamodo
You know
and
what?
human people,
I think that's
is
it.
also just the
I think
comedy.
that's the main thing.
I mean, yes, that's the main thing, but it's just its sense of tone and humor that it has, because its humor is definitely unique compared to most other shonen, in my opinion.
Yeah, from what you guys have shown me, what clips I've seen, it doesn't sound like my kind of humor at all, but at the very least, it's distinct, it's interesting, it's better than Demon Slayer.
You know what, I'm just putting it out there. What Kaiser said, I feel Gash Bell really works on a fundamental level because the relationship between Kyomaro and Gash works above all else. I feel like, much like that, one of the main things that really sells why original Naruto works is because you buy the friendship between Naruto and Sasuke.
Yeah, the rivalry friendship with them.
Well, in retrospect, I don't know if I could say the same thing about that.
Well, firstly, shut up. Secondly, think of the greatest moments in original Naruto, right? The ones you really remember that really stand out to you. One, that bit where they're training to apply chakra to their feet to go up the thing, and Sakura figures it out nearly immediately. Yeah, and just to tease Sasuke, she doesn't tell him, but she does give Naruto a hint. So then when Sasuke and Naruto both keep failing, Sasuke's like, "Hey Naruto." "Yeah, Sasuke? What'd Sakura tell you?" "I wonder." "Dude, just tell me." Fine. And then fast forward a couple of hours later and you see them holding each other shoulder by shoulder going back to the thing. But this isn't exactly a friendship moment, but I love that moment when Naruto transformed into Sasuke after tying him up and does some bullshit, and then Sasuke gets away and he's talking with Sakura and Sakura's talking shit, and Sasuke, even though he doesn't even like Naruto, he snaps and he's like, "Sakura, shut the fuck up."
Yeah, he literally pulls the Dwayne Rock Jackson mean, "Shut up, bitch!"
Well, it's because I get it, because he understands he relates to Naruto on a fundamental level, even though he doesn't want to.
Yeah, he's an orphan.
Yeah, they're both orphans, and my favorite bit in original Naruto, at least as far as I remember, is "Fuck you, Itachi. I won't kill Naruto. He's my best friend." That I don't. Forget the filler, I haven't seen it, I don't care, but that clenches original Naruto as an experience. I won't do it. Naruto is my best friend, even after he's the first one standing.
Yeah.
I'm like, Naruto itself works because that friendship works. You can say Naruto goes to shit or whatever, you can say whatever you want about Shippuden, haven't seen it, but OG Naruto, you can call it mid all you like, but it works. At least, because that relationship works.
Now imagine that, the best elements of that extended to an entire show. That's what Gash Bell is. And with better comedy.
Oh?
Objectively.
To be fair, it's not extended by that much. Gash Bell is only a little bit longer than canon OG Naruto prior to all the fillers.
Well, to be fair though, the anime doesn't adapt. It snips off the end of the second to last arc of the manga, which is the Faudo arc, and also doesn't have the final arc of the manga, which is the next arc, which is the Clear Note arc.
Okay, fair point.
Yeah. It's still really, really good. In fact, let me CBF, let me tell you about one of my favorite moments currently in the show. And it's such a very small moment, too. It's probably not gonna be one that Lunkra immediately identifies, but I really like this moment a lot, even though it wasn't even like a major part of the episode. So, like, from the beginning, right? Kiyomaru's character was that he is such a smart kid and has basically far surpassed his peers and even his teachers that he doesn't even bother coming to school, partially because of, you know, the way that people treat him as a smart person, saying he's looking down on everyone.
Because he is.
Well, sort of. He does, but it didn't start out that way. It's sort of like a self-fulfilling prophecy sort of thing. Where, like, people treat him this way because they think of him this way, so he acts this way so that people will leave him alone, which would make people think of him more that way, and the cycle continues, right? And Gash, basically barreling into his life, allows him to change
completely naked.
We don't talk about that.
With a book attached to his back while carrying a fish on being clutched by an eagle that he made friends with.
Because Gash is like that.
Through a window.
Through a window. And he basically just, you know, helped change Kiyomaru's mindset in regards to needing other people and interacting with people and, you know, actually touching grass and being a worthwhile human being. So there's this one episode, right, where one of the recurring characters, which is just this playboy teenage douchebag and his Momodo who controls the wind, try to track Kiyomaru and Gash down, and they followed him to their school. And we see a brief shot of them looking over the window, just seeing Kiyomaru after class tutoring his classmates, something that he didn't do all that much before, and just palling around with them. And that stood out to me because, oh my god, he's doing it. He's doing
character development!
I mean, yeah, listen.
He's touching grass!
He's touching grass, legitimately. It's such an understated sort of thing that happens. They do overplay it a bit more in the next couple episodes, especially in the summer camp one they did. But it's a really good snippet that shows how far that he has come and makes a good juxtaposition between him and the guy who's following him in that episode, because he doesn't take anything seriously at all. He just flies by the seat of his pants and doesn't go for anything all that seriously, other than looking up girls' skirts and getting food.
Just like CBF.
Next you'll be telling me this guy gets bitches.
I mean...
Shut up, Longcrit.
Well...
What?
I am... Out of the three of us, I'm arguably the most respectful and I'm arguably the most respectable and respectful of the lot.
Okay, Kogias.
Down.
Anyways.
When it comes to anime girls, that's it.
All right. All right. So you're saying you're gonna sit here and tell us that you don't treat, you know, real women like the same way you treat 2D Tail.
All I have to say is I press X for gun to doubt.
No, it's press X for doubt and B for gun.
Block this overhead, Longcrit.
See, actually, you're wrong on that, because, for gun, you press up, and then you spam X.
I'm referring to the Smash Bros. Version.
Why would you refer to Smash Bros. Over Persona 5?
Because that's where the meme comes from for Persona 5.
The meme is wrong.
Can I kill these people? Please.
Only after you're done with Kamen Rider Double. Now do your Kamen homework, boyo.
That's right. Do what Montium did with Miles and Carrie to make RWBY, alright? Do your tokusatsu homework, bitch.
Very soon.
You're lucky that earlier in the episode, I missed when I threw my motor oil at you, Longcrit. because now I don't have any more.
Common sense, bitch.
Is that even a thing?
It's a thing if I say it's a thing. It's a new installment thing. What you got? What you got?
Well,
The Deno dude had reading Steiner. I can have common sense.
wait, is D?
Too bad I don't have common sense. Well, yeah, I think, like, in his final form, he basically, from what I read, had reading Steiner.
Also, of course you don't have common sense. You're an autist like the rest of us.
Damn straight, and don't you forget it. Not that I ever will let anybody. By the way, I just want to go out and say, Kyomaru is, like, one of my favorite anime leads of all time. And shonen leads, because, like, shonen leads and anime leads. Like, the thing that really sells him to me as a character, aside from what a dick he is...
Because even after he changes, he's still a dick. And I love him for it.
Beast?
Yeah, the stupid Vulcan bit, like, dude, like, Gash is a little kid, right? He's like 5, he wants to play constantly, so, like,
What Kiyomaru did was...
he took, like, an empty pack of cigarettes or a little box or something, put, like, 4 sticks from, like, ice cream through it for, like, arms and legs, and drew the most 0.5 second face on it ever, and said, "Here you go, Gash, a new friend to play with. He's called Vulcan."
Hey, his full name is Vulcan 3000, thank you. And he is the actual best character in the show, and don't you forget it.
Okay, bro. But the thing that really sells Kyomaru to me right off the bat, like, even in the 150 episode run of the show, like, he has other great moments, but, like, the thing that really sold him to me is, like, episode 5. It looks like Gash is going to be taken away from him. Gash has given up. He's on the floor. He's crying. He knows now that he's not human because he had amnesia and just learned that. Learned that he's probably only going to bring trouble to Kyomaru and his mother. His father isn't around. Hashtag not dead. Hashtag didn't go for smokes.
Deadbeat dad.
No, he's a professor.
Alive.
He's researching.
Yep.
He's a very important man.
And we actually see him land.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, so kind of like Hohenheim a little bit.
But he's an actually good father.
Point is, though, Gash is, like, on the floor, he's crying, he's like, I'm a demon, I only bring trouble, like, let this happen. And Kyomaru's like, no, Gash, don't give up, you changed my life, you're my best friend. And I'm like, that's what it's all about. This is unironically what this is all about.
Yep. It's such a great one too, because like it's one thing to say it, but like the show does a great job in these moments of just showing the actual like conviction that the characters have. Like the amount of energy that's put into their expressions and the way they say things just really goes ham.
So like, unlike RWBY, when it says it, you can actually feel it.
Yes.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Kaiser and I were talking about this the other day. What Gash Bell has that other things have less, so... is balls. Is cojones. Big brass ones. Moderately sized brass ones.
Are you saying it kills important characters?
Functionally, yes.
Oh, okay. I haven't gotten to that part yet.
No. I said functionally. Like, I'm talking about when the Mamodo go back to the Mamodo world.
Actually, yeah. Oh, wait, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. You can explain the contents of, like, what I mean to CBF.
Yeah, so like I said before, the whole point of Demon War for the Demon King is that you're supposed to fight the other person's Mamodo and then burn that other person's book. And once the book is burned, it sends the demon back to the demon world where they will never see their human partner ever again.
Which sucks, because a lot of the partnerships between humans and Mamodo basically take on surrogate familial roles. Like, there's a lonely little girl with, like, a little boy Mamodo that doesn't get on well with other people and they're, like, best friends, the Yopopo one. There's, like, Kyomaru and Gash are clearly, like, an older brother and a younger brother, but then you get, like, for example, this one Mamodo called Koruru with a story that I really like, and they're, like, an older sister and a younger sister. And, like, the human older sister is taking care of the Mamodo younger sister. Later on, you get, like, a young couple that are basically, like, boyfriend and girlfriend. You get an old man with, like, a young teenage Mamodo that's, like a father or a grandfather with, like, a grandson or a son.
And then you have, like, Tio and Megumi, that kind of have the whole older sister, little sister thing, but way much different, but still really good. By the way, Tio and Megumi, best shonen female side characters.
Yeah, honestly, I think I might actually like Do I like Megumi more than Noelle from Black Clover?
From what I've seen, I wouldn't say that yet.
The thing is, CBF, what I like is that there isn't, like, a straight-up, like, not canonical, but, there's no consistent group, right? Like, you know how, like, in Naruto, like, Kishimoto didn't have the most to do with Sakura, so, like, Naruto and Sasuke get more and more powerful, and then she's just, like, kind of there?
Like, she'll only eventually, later on, every now and then, become kind of important, like the final battle. And the obvious one against Sasori.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, there are no consistent groups in Gash Bell. Like, everybody's just, like, the separate teams doing their own thing. And so basically, like, most of the stories are, like, Gash and Kyomaru doing, like, stuff with either people in their daily life or, like, doing other fights. And Megumi's, like, an idol. Tio is like her little sister, and basically they only get written into like a story when the author feels like it. So think of them as more modular, right? So they're not there all the time, sitting around and doing nothing when they're not useful, and they're not like the analyst girl from Beyblade either. They just only come in when there's a story for them.
Oh yeah, so it's not like, say, Fairy Tail, when you got, like, you know, the main four, and then there's the rest of the guild that kind of help out here and there.
Oh god, fuck Fairy Tail.
Yeah, and the best part of that, and a
few people who are also kind of secondary mains.
And the best part about that is that unlike in most other stories like this, Tio and Megumi weren't, like, imbued from the beginning with a certain level of importance that the author completely gave up on trying to capitalize on. Be honest, that's the issue with characters like Sakura or Hime and a bunch of other people that I can't think of right now, because that's how little of importance they are.
Insert Yu-Gi-Oh girl here.
Taya, Alexis.
Except for the ones who are even worse, because Taya and Tori are...
Tori, and Alexis.
Do we have a problem with Anzu?
Her name is Taya.
Yes, she's awful.
Yes.
She and Tristan are just... 90% of the time, they're just an awful peanut gallery.
I don't care how cute they made her in the Dark Side Dimensions movie. She sucks, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Back
to Gash Bell. Gash is one of my top 10 favorite anime characters of all time. He may be my favorite shonen protagonist. I don't know what else to say. As you go forward, Kaiser, you will see him, like, seemingly effortlessly become more and more likable.
Honestly, he already is a lot to me already, because you've always told me about this lone crit, but, you know, just to pace things out a little bit. Gash is definitely not only very fun, he somehow manages to, like, skirt the line between being an annoying kid and actually being compelling, and he actually is fun.
So, I just want to talk about Gash's motivation for a sec. I love how evolving it is. I think that's one of my favorite things. How should I say this? I don't like other... It's weird. It's very weird. We can talk about this more when we eventually revisit Gash Bell. But, like, you know, he's a good kid doing good things. And, like, Deku in My Hero Academia is a good kid doing good things. And yet, I fundamentally do not want to root for Deku. But, like, Gash has made me, like, out loud cheer or cry or laugh. Like, it's gotten those three reactions out of me in combination more than, like, any other, like, shonen lead in existence.
And keep in mind, people, this is a child character. A child. And Lone Crit isn't very fond of
I know how much Lone Crit hates
like,
children.
Like, I was watching it last summer, I was watching it on my TV, and, like, Gash does something cool, I'm like, fuck yeah, Gash! Like, I'd, like, actively, like, loudly do that. And, like, Gash Bell makes me cry a lot, man. I think it's because of how charismatic the storytelling is in many ways. I don't know what it is, but, like, you'll have a character, and they'll do one thing, they will be unlikable, and they will do one thing, and you're like, this is my character. Like, Kazi, you'll see this later, but they introduce a character called, like, Alicia, I think he's called, and, like, he'll be there for like 2 episodes, and he will do one thing and you're like, oh, never mind, he's awesome, he's the best, he's great.
Yo, so like how I view Higuruma from Jujutsu Kaisen?
Is he the lawyer?
Yes.
Probably, yeah. I mean, hell, I don't like Jujutsu Kaisen, but I am prepared to like that guy right off the bat. But yeah, as I was saying though, Gash's motivation, like, I like too how fluid it is. In the beginning, it's just, I want to stay with my family. And like, that relationship is done so well, I think it's because it's so imperfect, because Kiyomaru is a dick, and because Gash Bell is kind of a brat. But like, you have this like love and this support and this respect and this camaraderie that like outshines all of this, because like Gash is so ready to forgive, and like Kiyomaru is so appreciative about the fact that it's growing. So then when you see like Gash's motivation like really come into its own, where like Koruru gets sent to the demon world and he's like, this is no longer about survival, this is no longer about just staying with Kiyomaru as long as possible, now this is about something. Like, that's the bit, I love that so much, where Gash, like, it takes him a bit, but that's where he actively decides he's not just going to survive, he's going to become the king. And why? What's the reason, Kaiser? What's his goal?
The reason is that he sees his bond that he has with Kiyomaru and what Koruru had with her own human partner, and he sees like how this fight and this war, how this battle royale just forces the people, fuck it, human, demon, doesn't matter, people who otherwise wouldn't be fighting against each other, you know, taking each other's practically found family away from them. And he's like, you know what? Fuck that. That's fucked up. That's wrong. And I'm gonna fucking change that shit.
He decides once he becomes Demon King, he, and I quote, will become a kind king. Like, they pick very few words, but they pick the right words. He says he's going to become a kind king that can create a peaceful Mamodo world where the Mamodo no longer have to fight for superiority and can live, like, in peace, regardless if they're strong or weak. And that carries throughout the series great. There's a later mini-arc, and you like have another match between Gash and Brago, and Brago's like, what the fuck are you doing this for? What exactly is your goal that you're willing to go this goddamn far and willing to oppose me and be so fucking annoying? What kind of king do you plan on being exactly that you're actually planning on sticking out this war to the very goddamn end? Brago explains he's going to be a strong king to create a demon world where it's survival of the fittest. Gash just says he swears that he's going to be a kind king that'll allow the Mamodo to live in peace. And Brago says that's bullshit, because of course he does. But I'm like, the fact that Gash is saying that too.
It's still really good.
Yeah, by the way, before we officially move on, just saying, again, what I mean when I say it has balls, it has like, it does actually have there be consequences, because like, not all the Mamodo except the good guys are conveniently douchebags. You have a lot of people who have really like strong, like easy to understand relationships because of how equivalent they are to relationships have in real life, and they are shredded apart, and people like are quite possibly forever or for a very long time wounded on both sides that they're never going to be able to see each other again. That's crucial was ripped away from their lives, and that like burdens the people who are left behind and who are separated that much more. That's like the backbone of Gash's motivation that just compounds more and more as the series goes on. More and more like people are lost and forced to suffer in their separation. And that it has just the right amount of like danger in fights. Like, they're very simple, but they're very cool. One of my favorite bits is like the fact that like Kiyomaru is so insistent on the fact that he will not be separated from Gash, that even after like Sherry and Brago, like on the face of it, like at least practically basically beat them, he's like, no, fuck you, I will not go down. Like, powers through like all the force, grabs onto Sherry's hair, and he actually like, he wants it so hard that even though she won, he freaks her out. And we know what a badass Sherry is. But anyway, yeah, we will return to this at a later date, once Kaiser's at least finished the Ancient Demon arc, but in my opinion, quality-wise, one of the best, maybe not, but one of the greatest shounen that there is, long-running or short-running. Like, we will go into this a lot more later, but like, I think, like, maybe not everybody, because it's, like, very weird, but, like, a hell of a lot of people must watch Gash Bell, at least over other things that are coming out now.
Yeah, and so far, I would definitely give it either a 6 or 7.
Yeah, Gash Bell is, like, where it counts, it's great.
Yes.
Now on to something shonen-y that is kinda shit.
Oh
Because,
no. Should I run?
yeah. Feel free to. You can't escape. It is time we talk about RWBY!
Oh my god, why will I never escape
Cross
RWBY?
Justice League.
Finally!
Ex-Justice League.
Why did you have to decide to talk about this? Why will you never let me escape this? I see it on Kaiser's channel, I naturally watch most of those videos. Like, I get into a call with Pete, I want to enjoy some Nier Automata. What do I hear about? Fucking RWBY. I get into a call with you guys, what do I hear about? Fucking RWBY.
Because just like Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, can't escape from crossing fate. And that game has RWBY in it.
Or Code Blaze Fate, shitting on RWBY, apparently.
Yeah, because I remember when the show used to have promise.
I didn't.
And now it's awful. But we're not here to talk about the show itself.
I remember when you were watching Kamen
to
Rider
talk
Double.
about- Yeah, we will talk about that at a later point when we're done. But now we have to talk about this. We have to put this down because I don't think Kaiser and I will be able to talk about it in any other capacity. So we saw the awful, unholy abomination.
The absolutely worst that this franchise has to offer.
And that's saying a lot. Like RWBY X Justice League, a not quite adaptation of the comic that itself was an unholy matrimony between RWBY and, DC, mainly Justice League. I saw it on like freaking Mr. Cheese's thing, and it was bad. It was really bad. Kaiser, since you have experience with both, tell me, were you able to follow along? Because at times I kind of wasn't, because this movie really expects you to understand not just a lot of critical things involving the main RWBY cast, but also about the Justice League, especially like some of the current runs, I take it. Because like, I don't know this version of the Green Lantern. I know Hal Jordan. I don't really know Vixen. I don't know half of the characters that are in this Justice League aside from the obvious Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and Flash. Except, I don't know this Flash either.
Yeah, so... Okay, first off...
Before you start, I just want to have the last vestige of joy I'll have in this entire podcast.
Which is?
First, Gash Bell opening, one of my all-time favorite Battle Shonen openings, easily, no contest, like Jesus Christ. That, and just didn't even say, but like, Gash Bell is like massive chunk of its slice of life. That's how I think it should be. Imagine if One Piece more of it was the gang just hanging out, chilling out with the crew in the schoolyard.
Imagine if RWBY had more of that, because it desperately needed more of that. Because it doesn't have time for anything.
Oh yeah, like, you guys have shown me actually some clips of RWBY, just where it's like the gang chatting a bit and some of the early like Ren and Nora stuff, and that seemed quite funny. I was like, yeah,
it did.
Yeah, what if instead of fighting Grimm, we just did that sometimes?
But here's the thing though, they kinda do. It's just that the jokes have gotten worse.
And also, a lot of that happens more off-screen now, because we have to imply that these guys are such close friends, but we don't really get to see them interact much. At least not enough to really justify that.
Watch Gash Bell. Like half of it is slices of life. It is all beautiful and perfect and wholesome, and it'll make your life better. Also, speaking of jokes...
And your PP bigger.
Yeah, exactly. It'll make your PP much bigger. Also, speaking of jokes, you were, until you trained us.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the hell up, dog.
That is one of the most embarrassing lines I've seen in anything ever.
Yeah, but anyway, speaking of Volume 7, that's another odd thing, because I remember this isn't actually that much of a slight against the movie. We have a bajillion slights against the movie, but it's still kind of interesting to know that so many people were wondering what the continuity of this was, because they don't entirely realize that this is supposed to take place during one of the time skips in Volume 7. Because in one of the many flashes we see frickin' Jacques confronting, like, Ironwood and co. from Volume 7. And then at the end, it's revealed that, oh, this is during, like, a training facility VR thing that happens in Atlas. Which, oh yeah, that's right. How about we explain what this damn thing is about, and how it turns out it was all VR BS.
somehow, and also while at the same time being alternate dimensional BS as well. So, okay, here's the stupid plot of this freaking movie, Lone Crit, because when you hear this, you're gonna make me sad. You're gonna listen to this. I'm not glitching out. I'm not under a glitch.
Before you explain, what if hypothetically speaking, instead of crossing over with the Justice League, RWBY, hear me out on this, crossed over with the Rick and Morty?
I mean, that would be better. I wouldn't like it, but it would be better.
What if it crossed over with the boys?
I haven't seen The Boys yet, so I wouldn't.
It would be worse, because I hate the boys as well.
Yeah, that sounds like a skill issue, bud. But what if we crossed over RWBY with Homelander?
Anyway.
No more stalling, Lone Crit.
Explain this goddamn plot to me.
So, plot of this stupid freaking movie. So, you have Remnant, right? You have the whole thing with there, and then suddenly, the freaking Justice League got sent into the world of Remnant, but not only are their powers nerfed and have to adhere to the stupid battle system that RWBY has, which is, aura semblances and shit, but also, now they're all just teenagers. And they have worse designs. DeviantArt wouldn't make designs this freaking terrible, dog. I am telling you.
Some of the designs here are worse than the designs that we got through Volume 7. And a lot of RWBY fans, us included, understandably, shat on a lot of the Volume 7 designs. Like, Superman looks weird as hell, Batman looks weird as hell. I think those were the main two that got a lot of flack, deservedly.
Hang on a sec. So, what I'm hearing is that you just called yourselves RWBY fans.
We used to be fans.
That's not what you said.
Let's just say our hearts were broken.
Hey, he doesn't speak for me. I am a RWBY analyst, okay? I'm a RWBY-matician. I study the show.
See, CBF, what it sounds like is that you could use a heart thief.
Kill yourself.
I am playing
Get your
Persona
heart
5
ripped out.
Royal.
Gilgamesh
I
style.
am playing Persona 5 Royal.
Get your heart out ripped Gilgamesh style.
Which means Lone Crit has the excuse to use Beneath the Mask if he ever decides to make a video essay.
What it means is that I am in the process of becoming a jazz expert.
TM.
But you don't like jazz.
I like the Lupin soundtrack. I like the Detective Conan soundtrack. I like the Kamen Rider Double soundtrack.
Alright, but yeah, anyway, so it turns out that this all happened because... Was it Darkseid or... Wait...
No, it wasn't Darkseid. It's a villain that barely anyone knows about. Like, it's like some virus robot guy that basically teamed up with somebody who also wanted Team RWBY dead. For whatever reason, they somehow came into contact with him and they decided to put them in this VR. And instead of depowering all the characters completely, he just wanted them to just be frantic and make them suffer. Which, to be fair, given how stupid all the characters are during this fucking movie, that wouldn't have been a very hard task. It's just that he was stupider. Like, legitimately, they made Batman dumb.
The reason.
They made Batman dumb. And a sim.
Yeah, just like, oh man, I miss... maybe I should stay here instead. The guy who's always, like, steadfast, like, I will protect Gotham no matter what. Like, the only reason he will ever quit is if, like, things work out in a situation where he can't do it anymore. And usually by then, he has proteges. But here it's just like, I have powers now. Maybe I can work here. But I want to go home.
Oh, I have powers now in a world where I don't have any of my money, my cash, or any of my resources that actually are the things that make me one of the best superheroes ever. Fuck that. I can punch harder.
Oh, the reason that they're all teenagers, by the way, the reason they're all teenagers was because apparently that's when they're most emotionally vulnerable. So that apparently was the best idea. Don't make them kids like from that one Justice League episode. Make them teenagers, because they'll be at their most volatile and therefore, I guess, the easiest to conquer.
I was gonna say, I am not a Justice League character fan, but even I know that, statistically speaking, the most likely period for Batman to be particularly vulnerable is when he's a kid.
Or he's an old man.
Yeah.
When Martha died.
Yeah, when Thomas and Martha were killed. I mean, unless we're talking freaking Batman v Superman, where it's all about Martha. Save Martha!
Why'd you say that name?
That was the joke I was making.
Yeah, that movie's bad, but it's better than this. It's better than this.
It is.
I guess just that moment in like, or like if we're talking Man of Steel. Yeah, maybe when Superman was a kid and Pa Kent was just like, no, I will go in this tornado.
Don't save me, son.
I thought you were about to say no. Maybe you should have let those kids die.
To be fair, that's not what he said. But
Well, he's like, he's like, maybe. He's like, what should I have done? Let him die? Maybe. But yeah, anyway.
maybe we should kill kids.
Maybe he's vampire.
Manslaughter? I mean, it's okay. Maybe it's okay. You gotta protect your secret identity. Right?
Okay. So here's my question about this. So what I'm gathering from what you guys are saying is that the reason why this crossover in universe is happening in the first place is very flimsily justified and also very just unreasonable and clunky in how it like manifests once it's actually there.
That's RWBY in a nutshell,
Yes,
yeah.
and we won't even get to see who the other collaborator is until presumably part 2, because this is a 2-part.
Oh yeah, it's so bad. They have to make a second one.
Assuming part 2 even comes out, because Rooster Teeth has been in flames.
So what I'm getting from this is that this is confirming the discovery that CBF made about 2 weeks prior that I've known for quite some time, which is that in superhero media or hero media, crossovers suck ass.
They do. They almost never work. They rarely work very well. Because part of the issues with them...
Do not watch any Kamen Rider crossovers. You will have your heart broken.
Except for the one with W, right?
Yeah, except for the one with W, because I was gonna say, like, there's another crossover movie, I think it was with O's, and the double portion was good in that one, and the O's portion wasn't good in that one. I'm like, it's weird how frequently it happens where, like, you have, like, movies, these crossover movies for Kamen Rider in 3 bits, and, like, it's, like, 1 bit per rider, and then they both unite at the end as, like, and one of them is good and the other isn't.
But yeah, and it's not like the RWBY guys get it good either.
No.
Well, to be fair, we've stopped liking the RWBY cast since, like, volumes 5 through 7.
Hey, at least you have Ice Queendom, right, guys?
Kill yourself.
No. I made a video on that.
I did as well.
No, go watch it.
Go watch it too. I made 2 of them.
Yeah.
Maybe I should make a video on Ice Queendom.
But you'd probably have to watch it, which I don't recommend because that one's also bad. But this is worse.
Actually, no, maybe I'll make a video being positive on it, just so Kaiser can do another responsive video.
Also, speaking of responses, Kaiser, didn't you say that you had a particular response in mind to Blake in one of her scenes? What were you wanting to call her again?
Wait, is this about how we hate lesbians?
No, that's the video I'm gonna make next. Stay tuned for Bumblebee Too Little Too Late coming June 15th. Anyways.
Why you gotta bring Michael Bay into this, man?
God damn it. But yeah, and there was a scene in this movie where I believe Blake and Wonder Woman and Yang were talking to each other on a plane, and oh my god, Wonder Woman was so bad in this movie. In this scene, she was especially terrible, but we'll get to her in a second. Basically, it was about how, compared to the other League members, she was raised as a warrior, she had a hard life, and Blake is saying like the same thing because all the kids in the RWBYverse have to be kids, have been raised since like they were young in order to fight monsters and shit. But like, and Blake basically co-signs this. I forget what line she specifically said, but like, it made me just want to just call her all the bad furry names.
Didn't you want to call this white woman the N-word?
That was taken completely out of context.
Wait, are we like semi-reverse Charlie Sheening it?
No, listen, it would still count because remember, the White Fang are supposed to be the freaking
minorities.
Mildly carries words.
White Fang?
The White Fang are supposed to be analogs to the Black Panther Party, and the Fawn is the black people, okay? Their words, not mine.
And Blake's color is black. But yeah, It's like, her and Yang are pretty much just reduced to, oh yeah, they're the two characters that really like each other and flirt, because ever since Volume 7, they've kind of had very little to do involving their individual characters, because that's mostly been wrapped up. Ruby, her conflict with Superman is not that interesting. Blake's conflict with Superman, I hate, but the worst has actually got to be Ren, Nora, and Tyrone. I mean, Cyborg. Because, like, it's the whole idea of, oh, here's a love triangle.
Kaiser, why are you rubbing your hands together so much when you hear, like, CBF talk about Bumblebee? You must really love Michael Bay.
I mean, he has a lot of great special effects, man. I can't tell you.
But yeah, it's like Ren and Nora, the two characters who tend to get along pretty well. Now there's a pseudo love triangle with freaking Cyborg. So Ren really does not like Cyborg, and Nora's just all like, oh, I'm an independent woman. Fuck you guys. It's like, oh, both of you stop. Both of you stop being the worst part of this already bad movie.
It's even worse when you think about all of the, all the League members are actual adults before this, including Cyborg, and yet he's immediately thirsting after Nora for some reason when you're in the universe where freaking Raven exists and Starfire exists.
Based.
By the way, I'm talking about DC Raven, not Ruby Raven. Ruby Raven sucks.
I mean, we could thirst after her for different reasons, but yeah, she's awful. But anyway, just like so many of these character conflicts are just so arbitrary or undercooked. Even the best one that's just like the freaking Green Lantern girl just like being so like self-conscious about the fact that in this universe she can't actually use her powers well, like she's struggling to. And John has to help her overcome her self-doubt
because
in order to
of
get those
course
powers
they
back.
have to give Jean the only good emotional arc in this entire film. Fuck you, movie.
Which is why they also give him the only other good moment where he sees like Pyrrha because she's dead, and she's like, wait, no, that's not right. She's alive, but she's dead. But yeah, just like that is like the best part, and it's still undercooked because so much of this movie is like disorienting, doesn't make much sense. And when you learn what happens, it's like, oh wow, this is all dumb and a waste of time.
It's brain dead.
The action is so at best. So many idiotic things happen, like when Batman's locked in a cell and he gets out because he uses a detective vision to see that, oh, there's this thing under the floor tiles. Let me spit on it, and that disables the security. It's like so many dumb things on top of characters who are just, yeah. This high-tech security gets defeated by him spitting on the ground, one specific spot on the ground.
You know, that reminds me of that episode of Futurama where all the high-tech, like, stuff under Zap Brannigan just gets beaten with the power of Caveman Unga Bunga. Led by Philip J. Fry.
I'd rather be watching Futurama than that shit. Oh my god.
But yeah, so many characters, great and terrible, just get mischaracterized. So much dumb stuff happens for very little rhyme or reason. It's all just, it's a nonsense movie that ends on a part 1, and it's all VR, by the way.
Yep, and let me make this even more clear. This wasn't even made by the main RWBY writers. This was made by a DC Comics writer that no one likes. Not even DC likes this chick, allegedly. But somehow, she managed to write this.
Nobody likes female comic book writers, allegedly.
Wait a minute. That's not what I'm saying. Don't take me out of context.
But yeah, it's just like, oh man, it's a nothing dumb bad thing that is also either the final thing that RWBY's ever gonna come out with, maybe, or maybe the second to last. So we don't know if the main show is ever continuing. So yeah, all of us who ever liked RWBY, eat shit. This movie's a 2 out of 10. It's garbage.
I give it a 0.
Everything might end on. This is what everything might end on. Bye. It's bad.
It's so bad.
So yeah. Oh, that was something, wasn't it? We talk about a thing you guys like that is really good, and we end on utter garbage.
And nothing of value is lost.
CBF, I will suck you if you watch a good shounen for a change. Like Gash Bell.
I mean...
Or Kamen Rider Double.
Watch Yu-Gi-Oh! GX and you'll know. Okay, bye!
Goodbye!
Kamen Rider Double coming soon to a podcast near you.